Yo, what's going on, everybody? It's your boy Naruto Explain here, bringing you guys another Boruto Naruto Next Generations discussion on the fallout from Boruto Chapter 73. And today I want to talk to you guys about the future of Boruto's newest set of antagonists, Ada and Damon, in particular Ada, because she's the wild card out of all these recent developments that we have to keep our eyes on because of the whole femme fatale factor. In order to understand why this is so important moving forward, we have to look back into the past so we can gain a better understanding. Years ago, when Masashi Kishimoto wrote that line, that a woman's heart changes like the seasons, that line didn't go over as well as he probably intended, because basically trying to say a woman's emotions are subject to change and are conditional didn't go over well back then. And with Ada, we see a similar thing being done, and I'll take things a step further in saying I think that he's actually very close to nailing this with Ada. This is important to keep in mind because ever since we've been introduced to Ada, we've seen that line of thinking come back into play all over again. One of the first things we see with Ada is that she has a tendency to be very fickle. She went from being annoyed with Code initially to taking the time to size him up in order to see if he could be of any type of use to her. And then once it became clear that he wasn't gonna be able to get what she needed done, Ada turned on her. Her love and her loyalty is conditional, period. There is no in between with Ada. This brings us to Shikamaru's plan to keep Ada confined and locked away. Shikamaru rightfully made the assessment that Ada, if she wanted to, could have the entire ninja world crumbling at her feet via control. In a lot of ways, her motivations and her powers, they're extremely similar to Makima from Chainsaw Man. However, with Ada, we haven't seen her cross those moral lines that Makima has crossed in order to get her desires accomplished. I bring this comparison up to say that I believe we have the potential of crossing that line here. Ada is about to seemingly get everything that she ever wanted by getting to be in close contact with Kawaki as well as Boruto, the two people who her powers do not work on due to both of them being Otsuki genetically. And she's not only going to be in close contact with them, but she's also going to be living with them, which is very important here. At first glance, it'd be really easy to say that since Ada is getting what she wants, she's going to cooperate with Konoha. However, I think this is just another ticking bomb because Ada has shown herself to be extremely fickle, and when she doesn't get what she wants, the woman is not afraid to pick violence, even though she views fighting as being something barbaric by nature, which is why she sends Damon out to fight. For someone who has the power to see all things happening in the present time and the ability to go back in time to view past events, she has everything that a true threat needs, which is intel, which in the Naruto world, that's the difference between life or death. There is no making a plan to betray her because you can't verbally speak it or write it down like you could with somebody like Makima. Instead, any plotting that you do has to be done via the Yamanaka clan's hidden jutsu. The reason why that's so important is look at what we know. She said that if Amato couldn't make Kawaki fall in love with her, she'd kill him. Look at the word choices she chose here. That's a deep look into her character. She said if Amato couldn't play matchmaker between her and Kawaki, she'd kill him. The reason why this stands out is that it's a clear sign that her loyalties, they can shift, and while she's aware of what it means to be able to force people to fall in love with her, she has no idea of what it makes to make someone naturally fall in love with her. And even now, she's trying to manipulate the situation in a way to where she can get the outcome that she desires by force, a very Makima-like thing to do. She's a hot-tempered brat, and that's going to be a problem for Shikamaru moving forward because somebody that hot nature and that fickle and is willing to try and stack the deck to get what they want, that's going to be a problem for Naruto's advisor. By his own words, he has two, quote, bomb brat living under the same roof. Now, he's got someone hot-tempered like Ada who, if she gets irritated enough, she will tell Damon to light the fuse on the bombs that are Boruto and Kawaki if she doesn't see things going her way. And that all goes back to Shikamaru's choice. He has two bomb brats in Konoha, and now there's somebody to light the fuse in Ada and Damon. Very interesting to see that, and it might be a motto that causes them to light the fuse. What Ada doesn't get, however, is that there's something that Naruto did understand, even though it wasn't Naruto's intention. Kawaki is distrusting by nature due to his experiences growing up, but he grew to love Naruto through Naruto's actions and the fact that Naruto was opening himself up to Kawaki in a very sincere way, letting him live under the same roof. He was reassuring him, he was protecting him, he was bonding with him. Love in most cases is conditional. It's based on something that's being fulfilled, with the exception of the love between a parent and a child. All other love is conditional. For Ada, she's going to try and use those circumstances around her and use a motto to make Kawaki fall in love with her, and Kawaki is going to see through this whole situation most likely. It's easy to fall for Naruto because Naruto's being sincere, and for someone as starved for love as Kawaki, Naruto's feeling that need because Naruto didn't want anything in exchange from Kawaki. He just wanted Kawaki to be happy and safe, and on a human nature, Kawaki as a child was able to sense that. However, Ada, while she herself is starved for love, she doesn't know what it means to navigate the matters of the heart and tear down the walls of trust in a sincere manner. Up until now, she's only had to force people to love her. She's never had to earn love. Because again, if it's outside of a parent connection, love is conditional. If Kawaki does fall for her, it's likely going to be something transaction based, where she proves herself useful to him and she in return receives Kawaki, who placates her until she's no longer needed, which I still stand by it. If Ada and Kawaki do end up being a alliance in the future, Kawaki's eventually going to betray her because that's going to be the love Ada always wanted that ultimately ends up being her downfall. However, the danger in Ada is that if she finds herself not getting what she wants with Kawaki, she has no incentive to work with Konoha. This means Ko moves about with his Ten Tails army unchallenged. Now, I don't think that's going to be the case. However, that is a potential scenario. This means Shikamaru is in the worst possible outcome as Naruto's strategic advisor. He might have confined the threat of Ada, Boruto, Kawaki, and Damon, but if Ada and Damon choose to bust out of hiding, who is going to stop them? It's a similar situation to keeping Kawaki on confinement like he originally wanted to do until Naruto got the 5 Kage to agree to those conditions. However, the difference here is that nobody can stop them. Anyone who crosses paths with Ada will fall under her control, and anyone who gets on her bad side and annoys her, Damon can literally kill them without lifting a finger as long as he's touching Ada or anyone in the area. Putting so much on appeasing someone with a short attention span this short, that is this fickle, that's absolutely dangerous. She wants to experience love, which is an emotion she doesn't understand at all, and she's desperate for it. What's even more dangerous is that she's revealed that she isn't afraid to kill Amato for the sake of maintaining optimal leverage with Konoha, because as Amato stated, it would cause Konoha to be more dependent on her and Damon, and Amato said, hey, that's actually a good plan of yours. After all, Amato's ninja tech has been turned over to Konoha for Katasuki's team to analyze and incorporate into their own, which shouldn't be that hard given that Amato's enhancements were made from stolen technology from Konoha and the other nations, and he just built on top of it. For someone like Katasuki, once he sees how his own technology was used as a foundation for Amato's tech, figuring out the rest won't be that difficult at all. The Delta clone is already functional and is already an ally of Konoha. Right now, Ada has the most use towards Konoha than somebody like Amato, even with the shutdown sequence that he has on Kawaki. As Ada confirmed, even with Kawaki's increased power, Damon is still stronger than Kawaki, and he can shut him down if push comes to shove. If that needs to happen, Damon can just stomp a mud hole into Kawaki. It's been confirmed. Ada and Damon, they're a package deal. One has the intel gathering ability that Konoha desperately needs, and the other has the raw power and the Black Timberland mentality to get things done if the situation gets a little out of hand. She could easily replace Amato as needing to be useful to Konoha, but unlike Amato, who seems to make his calculations in advance, Ada looks like she waits for the right moment and allows you to think that you're appeasing her before she makes her decision, and she does not tip her hand beforehand. If Konoha is hitching its wagon to Ada and the belief that they can get Kawaki to appease her, at some point that's gonna blow up in their faces, and they don't have a solid backup plan in place unless the area they're confining Boruto, Ada, Damon, and Kawaki comes equipped with something highly advanced that's meant to keep superpowered individuals in holding. I highly doubt they're going to go as far as to place chakra seals on each of them to restrict their chakra, because doing so raises red flags to Boruto and Kawaki, which is not necessarily something they want to do so as to keep them thinking this is a standard mission unless they have chakra seals placed around the area as a barrier that can be activated from afar and seal off the chakra anyone inside of them. But that comes back to another problem here. Nobody in Konoha has a mastery of sealing jutsu on that level. Now, you could introduce a plot point saying that Naruto learned seals off screen, and it makes sense. Naruto is an Uzumaki, and those scrolls that Minato had would be in the Hokage library, so it isn't crazy. Or you could go the route that Konohamaru learned them from heroes and scrolls off screen, which would line up what we've seen in the anime, where he's been shown at times reading heroes and scrolls, but that would feel a little bit too contrived that Hiruzen had a sealing jutsu this crazy, and we just happen to see it be used right now. Regardless, personally, I think they're setting themselves up for the whole scorpion and the frog situation, where the moment they get across the lake and get onto safe shores, Ada will betray them. Once the frog carried the scorpion across the lake, the scorpion stabbed the frog in the back and said, "Hey, it's part of my nature. What'd you expect?" I'm curious to know you guys' thoughts on this matter. What did you think? Do you think that Konoha can win over Ada, or do you agree that this is the wrong idea in the long run? While you think that over, click here to watch my Why Everyone Fears Chainsaw Man video. Now that Chainsaw Man episode 1's up, you want to check that out, and click here to watch this other Naruto Explained video.